It was a lot of fun, and it was all around making another CM Punk bet. And as we're recording on Monday afternoon, a lot of rumor and innuendo that CM Punk in his first televised WWE match back on the exact 10-year anniversary of when he walked out of the company, January 27th, 2014, he competed in the Royal Rumble and managed to injure, depending on who you believe, either his bicep or tricep. Now things are in question again. Do you want to make another bet as to whether or not CM Punk will be at WrestleMania?
Fiyazaki is off, Breeze other. Not a chance.
No more Punk bets for Eric Bischoff.
No more Punk bets. First of all, I'm not getting any bets. I just suck at betting. I'm just not doing it. I get all emotional. I bet with my emotions. And that's where you always have the upper hand because you're such a logical, methodical, analytical sumbitch. You really think through a bet. I just react emotionally, and so far that's not working out for me so well. I see that John Hickson out of Ad Free Shows is joining us here on the Ad Free Shows Network, and he wants to know, who am I taking in the Super Bowl so he can make the opposite bet? That's probably a good strategy.
Well, so there you go, Eric. Do you have an idea? I mean, we know now Taylor Swift single-handedly won the AFC Championship by herself.
Yep.
So she is bringing her Kansas City Chiefs all the way to Las Vegas, where they will take on the San Francisco 49ers. It's a rematch from 4 years ago. What do you think?
I'm hoping so much that San Francisco wins. I'm not placing any bets. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. Ain't gonna do it. Not gonna happen. Not gonna place a bet. But if I have to see one more story about Taylor Swift, I'm going to gag up my toenails. I just don't want to hear anymore. And nothing against the woman. She's probably a lovely human being, and she's gorgeous, and she's got just so much talent that's not even fair. But I don't care about her anymore. I just don't want to hear about it. So I'm hoping it's San Francisco for no other reason. I just don't want to hear any more about Taylor Swift. Now they want her to run for vice president. What the hell?
Well, I don't know about that, but if you think for a second that the Chiefs aren't winning the NFL is faker than WWE. This is so scripted. It's going down. Taylor Swift with the confetti and the Lombardi trophy. That's happening.
Look, I said, I think it was on Strictly Business with Alba. I believe that this whole thing I think it's a work. I think this is a business strategy. I predict that Travis will end up marrying Taylor Swift. He's going to take her last name. He's going to become Travis Swift. And together, those two are going to buy an expansion team when one becomes available, and they're going to name it Insert City Here Swifties. It's going to happen. Merchandise will be crazy.
I know we're going to talk about all the crazy business stuff from the last week, but while we're being lighthearted and fun, not that injuries are lighthearted and fun, the WrestleMania card is changing. As we're recording right now, Mike Johnson has just reported that Punk has indeed torn his tricep. I had heard bicep, I'd heard tricep, but Mike Johnson says tricep. I believe Mike. Mike also says Punk's going to be out 4 to 6 months. He's going to need surgery. So they were trying to hold together the Seth Rollins CM Punk match. I think Seth Rollins was thinking he could maybe be in limited action. We didn't see him do anything at Royal Rumble. They probably thought, we'll take it easy. We'll rehab it. He'll be back in time. We can put the belt on Punk. And then if Seth needs to go get surgery, he can. Instead, Punk is going to cut the line for surgery. My goodness, you just lost Charlotte Flair. Seth Rollins was a question mark. Now CM Punk is going down. I know they got a loaded roster, and we've talked about how loaded this roster is, so I'm sure they'll be fine. But, boy, this has to sting. I mean, one of the reasons we know Punk wanted to come back, if there were any boxes left to check, he never closed the night at a WrestleMania, and most people felt like he was going to in night one. My goodness, Mr. Punk has a lot of bad news today. What do you expect?
Well, this is obviously the first time hearing it, and I know this is probably going to shock a lot of people, but I feel bad for CM Punk.
Yeah, you have to.
I mean, Look, I was not a huge fan of the way he conducted himself in AEW. That's no secret. And I stand by every single word I said based on the way he conducted himself. But he got a fresh, man, he had a fresh start in WWE. He was coming back. The stories that could have been told, the opportunities that were there for him, and going through whatever, again, I don't know him. I've never had a syllable of conversation with the man. I don't know what he's made of or what he's like. But to go through this emotional roller coaster that he's been on for the last however long it's been, 8 months, 10 months, between the craziness at AEW and then coming back to WWE and now this, man, I feel bad for him. I really do. I don't know how you couldn't feel bad for him.
It's terrible, just awful luck. And you got to think, I mean, this was his first televised match with WWE. He came back in November. Here he is 2 months later having his first match. It's on pay-per-view, and now he's sidelined again. So back to the drawing board creative goes.
Can we dig into that? Can we dig into this a little bit? Now, I've never had tricep surgery. I don't know what it's like. Certainly know people that have, but it seems like that's one of those surgeries that takes a long time to come back from. Is that your understanding, Conrad?
Quick Google search says 4 to 6.
That's 4 to 6 to come back to be able to go to work and do what the average person does for a living. I wonder if it's the same amount of time for somebody that is an in-ring performer, professional wrestler. I don't know. And how old is Punk right now?
He's a couple years older than me, I think. I would say that's 44. Let me take a look real fast. Yeah, he's 45 years old. He just turned 45 in October.
Yeah, I think, and that makes it even harder, man. Once you hit 35, 38 years old, the average person, the average male, things just don't heal as quickly. So I hope the best for him. I really do. To be out of the picture for 4 to 6 months means he's going to come back with another clean slate. And the good news, if there is any good news for CM Punk, is he's got a strong fan base. There is that loyal contingent of CM Punk fans that will still be there when he comes back. Let's just hope that when he comes back, he's physically ready and can end his career on a high note. That's all you can hope for with a talent like that.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-free shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.